Let's see what the second term brings here at Benak Park. Umpire tosses the ball up. The tap going to Nick Parks, who was looking for Sam Parks, who was then rounded straight away. And we'll have a secondary stoppage right in the middle of the ground. So the two rucks to go at it again. Again, Nick Parks hitting the tap. This time got some more meterage, but it went straight to the Saints. And then, wow, Sobel wanted a piggyback ride for Callahan, but pushed him in the back in the process. So Callahan for the Saints has it at centre-half back. We'll go towards the outer side with the kick. It's a good one. And now Panton goes towards half forward. And Baxter Evans was the target, but he dropped the mark. He's going to try to keep this in play. And he actually did really well there to keep this ball in motion, and then a quick kick from Todd's a high one, and that's going to be cut off by the Redbacks, who will reset at half back, and short kick works, so they're just in front of the Panton Hill bench now on this outer side, and Coach Simon Amore is keeping an eye on his troops. The Redbacks are going to go to the corridor, and why not? The kick, it was a right idea to Owens Draper, but it just didn't quite get to him. And Panton Hill, with their numbers, almost surged this ball forward. The kick was originally smothered, but they're pushing through to McLennan, who's doing really well with his second and third efforts. Eventually, the Saints win the ball back, but they're just going to have to get ball to boot here through Charbel, who was looking for low, but he dropped a sitter. He was able to rebound with his own footy. His kick towards Lawson, who was bumped off it. Sam Parks rebounds for Panton Hill, who got the 1-2 beautifully. And then down the line, his kick's a good one to Gorski. Centre wing broadcast side is Gorski. Has to slow down a touch. Looks towards a 2-on-2 out the back. A chance here for Cousins if he can run onto it. He picks up the ball. 45 out. Tight angle. Goes to 40. Had a vacant goal square, but it's kicked across the face. And maybe not a bad result in the end for Panton Hill, who have a boundary throw in deep inside forward 50.
I think that was probably his only option, go for goal or deliberately try and get a forward 50 stoppage when he wasn't able to take that quick kick to Livingston, who had a good lead but was almost a bit too close in the end for him. So forward 50 stoppage for the Redbacks, who finished off that first quarter quite nicely. Can they start off this second one in style as well? It looks like they will with the right foot snap out of the pack. It's a goal. And it's McLennan, who's looked lively so far in this game. He's able to get his first on the board. And Panton Hill strike first in this second quarter with their third of the game.
Well, he kicked 2 goals in his only 2024 match so far. And now he's able to kick his third of the season in his second game. You're right. Well, he was involved quite a bit in the middle of the ground just here in the early stages of that second term. But now you're right. He's rewarded himself with a goal. He kicked 43 majors in 15 reserves games last year. So certainly knows how to find the big sticks.
Only got the one opportunity in the seniors as well last year. So maybe he's looking at today as an opportunity to make sure he's a regular. He's coming out of the middles. Parks does well to get a click in the end, but only as far as a Watsonia player. Is taken in the back, no free kick. Owens Draper handball is intercepted nicely, and through Vasilevsky, Watsonia will look to try and get out of their own D50, but wrapped up for a ball up just on the edge of 50.
The Saints are now reeling the back foot here, aren't
really
they?
are.
They don't want to concede a couple more and see this margin blow out a bit.
Under a lot of pressure, which Panton Hill will be really happy with. Parks in the ruck there, does well, able to find a teammate, but Watsonia now are able to get this ball forward. High bouncing ball, no one's able to take it cleanly. Look at Gorski. He's been fantastic to start this game. He was clean, but put his teammate under enormous pressure with a gang tackle. Pilati probably is owed a beer from Ethan Gorski for that handball. We'll get another ball up in the middle. Potter and Parks challenging. Parks does very well. Gets a free kick in the end. Was able to take it out of the ruck and almost move forward by himself. So he'll look inside forward 50. I think he wants to give this to Livingston. He goes in that direction. Won't be able to take the mark. Bolton does well to bring it to ground. As Watsonia now looking to try and just surge this ball football, but it's turned over. As Panton Hill, Livingston, nice tap in the advantage of his teammate. Wasn't able to get it forward though, and we'll get another ball up.
No, almost. He's hovering. Was umpire Marty Ellis, but he'll have it. About 55, 60 out from the Panton Hill goal. The only ones to kick a major so far in this quarter. The Saints were able to get this one away. Nick Lawson got the handball away. No, in fact, he's decided to kick it himself. And a great mark taken here by Christian Lawson, who can run in. He's going to handball away to Lowe. Is it going to bounce for him? It will. He's got numbers all through. And the Saints get one back. It's Luke Pantalone who gets on the board for the Saints. And Watsonia now moved to 2-3-15. Panton Hill 3-4-22, and they were threatening with some transitional players in the first term, Zach, and it comes to fruition now. It was the Lawson boys teaming up.
100%. It was started with that great kick from the Nick Lawson, who was able to get it over to Christian Lawson, who's been good to start off this game at that high half forward. Looks like he could be an issue. It was not the greatest kick towards Lowe, but Lowe, great composure, being able to give it to Pantalone to get Watsonia's second goal of the day.
Back in the middle we go then. Getting a tap was Nick Parks, and it might work here for Panton Hill, who will look to clear it away. They do. Chaos ball inside 50, bounces just past Sinclair, but he's able to pick it up, tries to turn his opponent inside out, but ran out of room in doing so, and will have a boundary throw in instead. Inside 50 now for the Redbacks. They lead by 7 points, is the same margin they led by at quarter time. Boundary throw in incoming. It's going to be Blake to do the ruck work. Potter gets front spot and will work it out to clear it away, but not effective. Gorski wins the ball back again, another intercept. His handball, a tough one for Owens Draper. Sam Parks out the back, tries to move it forward. Umpire said it was a throw by Parks, and Watsonia threw a netter at half back. He'll win possession of the footy. He's got a short option in Nick Lawson. He's going to ignore him. And Anetta goes down the line. Centre wing broadcast side. Garrard out the back. Got hands onto it. Picked up by Donahue over to Sam Parks. Donahue with the 1-2. And then we'll go down the line. It went straight through Gorski. It was clean bowled. Anetta picking up the crumbs. Goes to the corridor. And a good mark taken by Callaghan. Who can get moving now. He had Pantalone in front of him. Decides to kick it towards half forward. A 2-on-1 in favour of the Saints. Works out. Now for Nick Lawson. 55 out from goal. Will Lowe get in front this time? Again, hands. Unable to take the mark though. Saints with numbers to help him out. Pantalone got the handball back, was looking for Garrard, intercepted by Callaway. Now Panton Hill will look to rebound. Pilati got the handball to a teammate, now goes towards half forward. That's cut off. The Saints will try again inside 50. This one a high ball. Only one really going for it was Pantalone, couldn't take the mark. Redbacks with numbers. It's just a bit of kick to kick at the moment, nothing too efficient. Gorski tried to take the mark, was unable to do so. Lawson almost wrapped up in a tackle. Blake at the back of the pack, and Redbacks will try and win some possession, but Gorski under all sorts of pressure, and the Saints have numbers inside 50. Can they make it work? Pantalone, the last goal kick, is going to try himself. Is that going to come back enough? Will it get to the line? It does neither, and Redbacks are happy to rush through eventually for a behind. And it's now an even 6-point game. 2-4-16, Watsonia, Panton Hill 3-4-22. We are almost 8 minutes into the opening term as Panton Hill want to quickly move it again.
And they're going to go very quickly up the middle as well. It's danger signs for Watsonia. Almost able to chop that off nicely was Vasilevsky. Couldn't take the mark as Panton Hill now will look to get this ball forward. Parks couldn't win it, and Netta, the little man, is able to do it instead and gets it off to Bolton, who gives it to Sinclair, and he has wide all on his own. Nick Lawson looks to go inside forward 50. Can he find a teammate? It goes over the head of a Panton Hill defender in the direction of Lowe. He couldn't take it cleanly, neither could Buckley. As now an opportunity for Watsonia, but it'll be a free kick holding. Panton Hill escape. Oh, actually, it's going to go towards the Saints.
There was a hold there.
It's Buckley on Pantalone.
Geez, you feel like even if either side are just 5% more clean, you feel like a few more goals come into this contest. But instead, Pantalone now, almost on the corner of the centre square, is going to look for a shot. I don't think he's confident. He wants some leaders. Lowe's now giving him one, and that's the direction he goes to. No problems this time for Ethan Lowe.
He's been great this quarter as well, Pantalone. We didn't really see much of him in that first quarter, but it looks like he's really starting to have a say in that forward 50 for Watsonia. He's already tried to almost create a few opportunities whilst also kicking a goal himself. And now he gives it to the leading goal scorer for Watsonia in Ethan Lowe. Looking for his first major of the afternoon. Comes in, and that one never looked like going through. It's a behind to the near side. Watsonia go to 2-5-17. Panton Hill 3-4-22.
Redbacks try to escape towards the outer side, but they're going to have to slow down. Saints sitting up really well behind the footy. That kick ineffective and out of bounds for a boundary throwing. So we're almost 10 minutes now into this second quarter. A goal apiece in the term. but it's the Redbacks who lead by 5. Boundary throwing to be taken between McCullum and Potter. McCullum was able to get the tap back, and it landed for Ollie Parks, who tried to strike the tackle, lost the footy, then picked it up again, managed to get some type of handball away to McCullum, and then it'll be Panton Hill who get the clearing. Well, I'll say kick. It's going to be a handball into space. They've got numbers right in the corridor. Sobel got the handball over to Ollie Parks, and they've moved this really well here, Panton Hill. Now a chance for Livingston, who wasn't in front, but his opponent dropped the mark. Livingston can make him pay. Got the handball away, and now a shot on goal will go through for the Redbacks. They were just determined to not give up at all. And I think that's going to finish with a Sobel goal. His first of the afternoon, and Panton Hill get one back. It's that ferocious pressure again, Zach.
It is, and that was brilliantly done. It almost looked like it was a turnover on 4 occasions, but Panton Hill's pressure made sure it wasn't. It looked like an intercept mark to Bolton. He wasn't able to take it, but Livingston, credit to him, stayed involved in the play, was able to get that forward, and fantastic second effort running by Sobel, and he's rewarded with a goal. So back in the middle, McCullum and Potter. McCullum wins it on this occasion, but it's going to go in Watsonia's favour. Callahan out the back towards Murphy. Their first goal scorer of the day. His kick is intercepted by McCullum, who now looks to go to Callaway. Off half back, up towards half forward. No mark taken on that occasion for Blake. Well defended as Watsonia now look to go back even further to potentially gain more forward movement, but they're not able to do so. Intercepted nicely there from Panton Hill at half-back. Callaway spins around one, then gets a hat kick forward in the Blake direction. No mark taken. Falls out the back towards a Watsonia defender who's wrapped up immediately by Oliver Parks for a ball up.
Saints really got to be on their toes here because Panton Hill are threatening to really blow this game out. They've had the ascendancy for most of the quarter. Potter will just take the ruck contest himself, but if it wasn't for that being ran through by Roberts, Panton Hill would have had another inside 50 entry immediately, so it's going to be a boundary throw-in instead. 12 and a quarter minutes into the second term. It's a lead of 11 so far for the Redbacks, who are looking to go 2-2 after 4 games. Potter at the back again. Bursting through and doing really well there was Christian Lawson, and he finds a netter who can go inside 50. Garrard going to go out the back for him. Lowe's found himself on his own. Garrard tried to tap it to him. Instead, it's going to land for Lowe, who found himself out the back, and he gets his first of the day. There's a confidence booster for their leading goal kicker, and the margin now back to 5 points as it results. 3-5-23 Watsonia Panton Hill, a 4-4-28, and it was the risk coming from Ethan Lowe's opponent. Made it a 2-on-1 for Garrard, but Panton Hill ended up having more numbers with Garrard, and that allowed for Ethan Lowe to be at the back on his own and running for the simplest of goals.
It's Christian Lawson again. His burst from that stoppage was fantastic, and Netta didn't have to do it. He was the one able to get that ball inside forward 50. Garrard did very well to keep the play alive and get it over to Lowe, and the last 2 goals have come from surge football from both sides. So could that be a trend for the rest of the afternoon?
Ball gets tossed up. Potter getting the tap. It's Van Page who got the handball away, but tackled by a couple of Redbacks. It's going to force a secondary stoppage. Still inside the centre square. And again, you just really don't know which way it's going to land at the moment. It's been a close contest. Ollie Parks at the back of the pack. Potter's trying to tackle him and actually did really well to do so. Force another stoppage. Again in the centre square we go. Potter has been doing the majority of the ruck work in this game so far. McCullum with the higher leap. Potter with the tap though. A lot of numbers around this footy. And it might allow for the umpire to call yet another stoppage. So a bit of a slower setup now as we tick towards the 15-minute mark of this second quarter. Again, McCullum leapt high, and again Potter won the tap, and this time winning his own footy is the 23rd man in Leeson, and then Panton Hill now applying the frontal pressure, picked up for Sam Parks, but his handball went straight to a Saints opponent, and then they tried to be a bit clever and it didn't work out for them. Panton Hill to win it back. They'll win a high tackle, picked up here by Akram, who's the defensive side in the corridor, centre wing. His kick's going to be cut off by a netter. Can Anetta make him pay? Centre wing broadcast side. Shipping ball will work. This is Charbel. And then they'll chip it again. Bolton. Charbel still on his own, but he lost the footy. He almost got collected. He did, in fact. So he got collected high. And then he found the handball away to Braby, who was about to send it deep inside 50. But I think the Saints are going to prefer that they win this back between wing and half forward. It's going to be a chance now who Charbel kicks it inside 50, off hands. Leeson tried to get things moving. He's still going to apply the pressure, but it's all Panton Hill. Callaway takes a bounce. Clear it out. Not a great kick. Here comes Sinclair, who wanted that footy more, and now he gets through an opponent. Handball is a good one to Murphy. 49 out for Murphy. He's Lowe in the goal square. And Ethan Lowe will look for his second in just a few moments, but it all started from Harry Sinclair, who came off his man and allowed another inside 50 entry for the Saints, and it allowed another goal for Ethan Lowe, and his second gives his side the lead. 4-5-29, Panton Hill 4-4-28. It's a point the margin, and now the Saints are getting their momentum back.
Although he doesn't look like the fastest player on the ground, Ethan Lowe's looking dangerous out the back. Both his goals have come from that mark as well. Reading the ball probably better, like Sinclair did from that clearing kick of Callaway. Just those little things that Panton Hill have to be worried about, because it looks like any chance Watsonia get to intercept and get it back inside forward 50, they're putting punishment on the scoreboard. As doing well there is Parks winning his own hit out in the end, getting it forward in Panton Hill's advantage. Akram taps it on to his advantage as well, then kicks it inside forward 50. Will the umpire call deliberate? No, it'll be a throw in. A win for the Redbacks inside their forward 50. It'd be interesting, which ruckman do Panton Hill want in this forward 50 stoppage? They're going to go Nicholas Parks, who did very well in that last one. Well, it's not Parks, actually, it's McCallum.
No, Blake, I think.
Even better. Potter taps it towards Watsonia, a player who isn't able to get it, and it's going to fall out to Blake again, and
Missed.
Umpire was a bit delayed to give us an indication as whether there was a goal or behind. It's a behind.
Scores a level. As we tick towards time on in this second term, Saints clear it away. They've got a couple of options. Bolton at half back. That's a very high ball, but it was in a good spot. And it's that 23rd man on debut, the 16-year-old Jamison Leeson. Down the line, kick not a great one for Lawson, who was then barreled into by Braden Callaway. And there's a bit going on as a result, just a bit sloppy and unnecessary really for Callaway. And it's going to land here for Christian Lawson, who, as you've been mentioning throughout the call, Zach, has certainly been one of their top three players on the ground today. Here's Lawson then. Sends it inside 50. 3-on-1 in favour of Panton Hill. Hits ground level. Sam Parks will get there first. Had no helpers. And Netta at the boundary. And he'll see it out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So we're going to have the ball tossed back into play. Scores are level. It's 4-5 apiece as we tick towards time on. 18.5 minutes gone in this second quarter. Shallow boundary throw-in. Worked for Garrard, but didn't control it as well as he would have liked. Will spell at the back. It's going to be a snap on goal and just a behind. Coming from Brownhill. But the Saints regain the lead. They're 4-6-30. Panton Hill 4-5-29.
So slowly they've been able to work their way back in front, Watsonia. Callaway will look to take it, the kick out here for the Redbacks. Goes long up the line, just outside their own bench, and almost taking the mark there was Parks. Had the front position, wasn't able to take it, and the ball trickled out for a ball up. Or a throw in, actually. That's what happens when the ball goes out of bounds.
Happens to the best of us.
So Parks and Potter will battle it out in the ruck. No one able to win the hit out, but Parks is able to win the clearance. Owens Draper, clever tap up towards Oliver Parks on that occasion. It's bounced off his chin, which has helped Watsonia here gain possession, but it'll be a ball up right in the middle of the ground.
We're now into minute 20 of this second quarter. And we're right in the middle of Binac Park. A tap coming from Nick Parks, trying to get in front there. For the Panton Hill, was a couple of options, but neither to be able to keep things moving forward. A lot of numbers around this ball, but there's been a holding the ball call that will work in favour of the Saints. It's going to be picked up here by Brownhill. Defensive side of the centre square. Brownhill towards the inside 50 area. Couple of options there, and Netta picks it up, struggles the tackle, but had to get the handball away, did so. Parks now spins. Did he get rid of it incorrectly? He did. And he only had the ball for a moment, Sam Parks, but as soon as he spun, that was his prior. And then did not dispose of the ball correctly and allows a shot for Raiden Garrard. And he can extend this margin to 7 points. Very slight angle, even if any, but he's going to have to kick from about 50 metres out.
Kicked their first behind of the day, did Raiden Garrard.
He's kicked 30 majors in his senior career. 21 goals last year in 17 games, 1 major in 3 matches this year before today. Garrard from the paint of 50 will come in, and is that going to get the distance? No, the Redbacks rush it through. And the lead is now 2 points for the home side. They're 4-7-31. Panton Hill 4-5-29, 21 and a half minutes into the second quarter.
So Panton Hill being really aggressive here, long up the middle. It's going to find its way to Callaway, who has a hack kick out wide and intercepted by Callahan, who's been good off halfback for the home side. He goes long inside forward 50. Can Garrard or someone from the Saints get there? No one could. It was a 2-on-1 in the end, in a marking contest for poor Christian Lawson, who had to find himself in the middle.
Still did well.
He did well, bringing it to ground, and they get a stoppage out of it, which helps. So Garrard will be in the ruck with Donoghue. He wins it out himself, failed to get a kick, and the umpire's going to punish him for it. Donoghue, who's been solid as a key defender today, goes wide, finds Parks. Looking to give that off to Callaway for handball received, decides not to in the end. Then goes long down the line towards a pack where Watsonia dominated it and we're able to bring it to ground. And we'll have a ball up on the outer wing when the umpire decides, and he decides, no, we will not. The clearing kick is only going to go as far as Callaway.
Right in front of the Panton Hill bench is Callaway of the Josh variety. Chipping ball, barely 15. Ollie Parks wants corridor, and it didn't take the mark. Now Watsonia with a huge chance here if they can get it moving. They do here through Nick Lawson. The kick just bounced in front of Garrard. Still a chance here for Pantalone. He was looking for low. He was out the back again, but it was a kick that didn't quite get to him. And now Panton Hill, what I look to reset. The mark, though, was dropped by Tim Duckworth. They do have numbers to force a stoppage, though, and that's what they'll do. And just inside 50 now are Watsonia, who've done well to arrest some early momentum and have the lead at this moment. Garrard's tap, he was looking for plenty of teammates, but it was intercepted by Sobel, whose kick out of defensive 50 makes it a one-on-one. Tough one here for Duckworth, who grabbed the ball and then absorbed the tackle, allowing for yet another stoppage as the cavalry arrive for both sides. It's a quick ball up, tap from Potter, read best by Sam Parks, who can't strike the tackle. That's an impressive grab. Is that Lawson again? No, in fact, it's Brownhill. Man on the marks, 50 out. Brownhill, great kick. Garrard. Sam Parks did well to get in the hole. Got the handball away to Callaway, and Panton Hill getting themselves out of trouble again. And now, chance for Owens Draper, who can go down the line here. Kick wasn't great. Makes tough work for Livingston, who misread the footy, and the Saints win it back. Callahan now. He'll drive it towards half forward. Garrard's in front. He was held onto. He'll win the ball. Again, the man on the mark is right on the paint of 50. Slight angle. Probably a bit too far out for the key forward. Garrard. Decides to handball to Anetta. Drives it to the top of the goal square. Can Logan in front? He did, but it was just too high for him. Panton Hill desperate to kill this footy. Sam Parks front and the centre. Boundary line might beat him. Decides to keep it in play at least for now. In fact, he will do so again, and the handball finds Sobel. And Sobel, he'll go down the line for his kick, but it's all Watsonia, and in a huge bump laid, that's going to allow that ball to just go out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. almost true centre wing out of side. We have played 25 minutes in this second term.
Just looks like as Panton Hill are able to get pace off half back, it all comes undone right here where the boundary throw-in is, at the middle of the ground on the wing. It's Potter's able to win the tap and get it backwards for Watsonia. Nice kick from Murphy. He's able to find what looks to be Callahan, who's pushed up higher up the ground.
Ooh.
And his kick is a dangerous one inside. It's going to work in the favour of Parks. Quick handball from Panton Hill, and they're inside forward 50 now as Akram finds Livingston on the lead. A nice easy chest mark with a paddock of space in front of him. And Livingston, who got Panton Hill's first of the afternoon, will look to find his second and give the Redbacks the lead back after they lost it earlier in this quarter.
Distance no problem here, I don't think, for Livingston. It will just be about accuracy. And this, as you said, will give the Redbacks an important advantage as we tick towards half-time.
So Riley Livingston, their leading goal scorer on the season, 7 goals. Looking for major number 8. He's been one of their best this year. He comes in slowly, taking his time. His kick is on its way, and it never looked like missing. Straight through the middle for Riley Livingston. He's got 2, and Panton Hill are back in front.
It's a massive goal there for Livingston. He becomes the first multiple goal kicker for the afternoon. And Panton Hill are 5-5-35. Watsonia 4-7-31. Just about the 26.5-minute mark of this second term. And maybe it's the visitors who will hold their lead heading into half-time. Ball's going to be tossed up again in the middle. And that will do for the first half here at Binnack Park. A fantastic half of footy between both sides who we know are desperate to get an early round win in 2024. The Redbacks already have one this year. And if it stands like this, they'll have one in this fourth game of the season, I should say. Panton Hill are 5-5-35. Watsonia are 4-7-31. They lead by just 4 points